Welcome back to Goodnight Lighthouse. I'm Miss Dorothy, and I'm here to read you another story. And I'm so excited because I have a book from one of my friends. My friend Ella brought me a book that I found very interesting because it had to do with mommies and how sometimes mommies get tired too, and mommies need a little bit of a break. And Ella brought me this book that's called 5 Minutes Peace. This is about a mommy who just wants 5 minutes of peace and quiet. Just 5 minutes. That's not a lot for a mommy to ask for, but some crazy things happen inside this book that keep mommy from having her 5 minutes of peace. Ella wanted me to read this book to you, and I think it's a good idea because you should see what happens when a mommy wants a little peace and quiet. But then, when Ella gave me this book, I thought of another book I have about mommies and all that mommies do and how sometimes mommies need a break, and that book is called The Grouchy Mom. The Grouchy Mom. What does it mean to be grouchy? Grouchy is when you're just being, like you're just not happy and everything makes you mad. Well, this book is called The Grouchy Mom, but that mom doesn't look grouchy to me. I wonder what's going to happen when we get in this book. We're going to find out if mom is really grouchy or if maybe mom just needs 5 minutes of peace. These are two good books to read together. I'm so glad Ella had this idea. Anyway, we're going to read Ella's book, and then we're going to read Miss Dorothy's book, and then we're going to come back together and talk about them and talk about how we can give our mom 5 minutes of peace. Are you ready to get inside these mom books with Miss Dorothy? Good. I need you to sit up and listen up because here we go. The children were having breakfast. This was not a pleasant sight. Oh my, the children are making a terrible mess at breakfast. Poor Mom. Mrs. Large took a tray from the cupboard. She set it with a teapot, a milk jug, her favorite cup and saucer, a plate of marmalade, toast, and a leftover cake from yesterday. She stuffed the morning paper into her pocket and sneaked off to the door. Looks like Mom's making her own breakfast. "Where are you going with that tray, Mom?" asked Laura. "To the bathroom," said Mrs. Large. "Why?" asked the other two children. "Because I want 5 minutes peace from all of you," said Mrs. Large. "That's why." Mrs. Large needs a break. She just wants 5 minutes of peace and quiet. "Can we come?" asked Lester as they trailed up the stairs behind her. "No," said Mrs. Large. "You can't." "What shall we do then?" asked Laura. "You can play," said Mrs. Large, "downstairs by yourselves and keep an eye on the baby." "I'm not a baby," muttered the little one, as Mrs. Large took her tea and went upstairs. Mrs. Large ran a deep, hot bath. She emptied half a bottle of bubble bath into the water, plunked on her shower cap, and got in. She poured herself a cup of tea and lay back with her eyes closed. It was heavenly. Mrs. Large is very relaxed right now, and that's good. She just wants 5 minutes alone. "Can I play you my tune?" asked Lester. Mrs. Large opened one eye. "Must you?" she asked. "I've been practicing," said Lester. "You told me to. Can I, please, for just 1 minute?" "Oh, go on then," sighed Mrs. Large. So Lester played. He played "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star" 3.5 times. Poor Mrs. Large. She's not getting that peace and quiet she wanted. In came Laura. "Can I read you a page from my reading book?" she asked. "No, Laura," said Mrs. Large. "Go on, all of you, off downstairs." "You let Lester play his tune," said Laura. "I heard. You like him better than me. It's not fair." Uh-oh, Laura's whining. "Oh, don't be silly, Laura," said Mrs. Large. "Go on then, just one page." So Laura read. She read 4.5 pages of Little Red Riding Hood. In came the little one with a trunk full of toys. "For you," he beamed, flinging them all in the bathwater. "Thank you, dear," said Mrs. Large weakly. "Can I see the cartoons in your paper?" asked Laura. "Can I have the cake?" asked Lester. "Can I get in with you?" asked the little one. Mrs. Large groaned. This was not the peace and quiet she was looking for. In the end, they all got in. The little one was in such a hurry that he forgot to take off his pajamas. Well, now it's turned in a bath for the kids, not Mrs. Large. Mrs. Large got out. She dried herself, put on her bathrobe, and headed for the door. "Where are you going now, Mom?" asked Laura. "To the kitchen," said Mrs. Large. "Why?" asked Lester. "Because I want 5 minutes peace from all of you," said Mrs. Large. "That's why." Now she's getting impatient. She just wants 5 minutes peace and quiet. And off she went downstairs, where she had 3 minutes and 45 seconds of peace and quiet before they all came to join her. Poor Mrs. Large. The Grouchy Mom by Rebecca Ventre, illustrated by Dara Segovia. Today my mom woke up on the wrong side of the bed. From the moment she got up, she was grouchy. Look at poor Mom. She's trying to sleep, and the babies are on top of her, and that girl next to her does not look very happy. At breakfast time, Mom made my favorite pancakes and eggs. But before I could even take one bite, I noticed that the syrup was touching my eggs. And even though my breakfast was ruined, she was grouchy. I don't think Mom is the one who's grouchy here. I think that little girl's being too picky. She's not going to eat her breakfast just because the syrup is touching her eggs. My socks had lumps in them, and my shoes were too tight. And my tag was itching me. But for some reason, she was grouchy. No, I don't think Mom's grouchy. I think Mom just needs her to hurry up and not be so picky. Then at snack time, she told me not to bring my drink to the carpet. As I turned around to bring it back to the table, it spilled. And even though she told me to do it, she was grouchy. I think the problem here is that the little girl was not supposed to take her drink onto the carpet. It wasn't Mom's fault that she spilled it, and Mom probably was a little upset, but probably not grouchy. I tried to cheer her up by drawing her a beautiful picture, but it made her even more grouchy. Oh, she drew on the wall. Well, that is not a good way to cheer Mom up. Mom says baby brother is teething and he has been fussing all day. Maybe Mom is getting a new tooth too. Yes, I think that somebody is grouchy in this picture, but I don't think it's Mom and I don't think it's baby brother. At bath time, I was barely splashing, and even though I only got a little water on the floor, she was grouchy. That doesn't look like a little water to me. Dad called Mom and said he would be a little late coming home. I was excited he would be home soon, but it didn't help Mom's mood at all. At bedtime, I was so thirsty, and I wanted to hear one more story, but Mom seemed to be more grouchy than ever. Looks like Mom's doing her best to make the little girl happy. She gave her a drink of water, and she's reading her a book, but boy, Mom really does look tired. After she tucked me in, I remembered what Mom does to help me when I'm grouchy. So I called Mom back to my room. Mom! Mom! As she sat on my bed, I gave her a big hug and told her how happy I am that she is my mommy. She smiled and told me how much she loves me as she kissed me goodnight. I think she just needed some rest. Okay, these were some really good books, and I think taught us some really important lessons. Now, Ella brought us this book, 5 Minutes of Peace, and all Mrs. Large wanted to do was have 5 minutes of peace and quiet. She tried to get some tea, she tried to take a bath, she went to sit in the kitchen. Wherever she went, there were those noisy kids. Now, she loved her kids, and she loved having them around, but it's okay that she wanted 5 minutes of peace. She didn't get 5 minutes of peace, did she? How much time did she get? She got 3 minutes and 45 seconds, and then the kids came back. Crazy and poor Mrs. Large. But that was a good book that I hope taught you a lesson about sometimes giving your mom a break. And then this book, The Grouchy Mom. What did we find out here? Mom wasn't grouchy at all, but there was a grouchy little girl in this book, and she kept saying that Mom was grouchy, but really she was grouchy, and she kept doing things to make Mom upset, and then she just said Mom was grouchy. But Mom was just being a mom and doing what she was supposed to do. But in the end, I was very happy that this little girl realized that the way for her to get over her grouchiness and the way for her to help her mom is with hugs and kisses and rest. All moms need rest. I was happy this little girl learned that lesson. This was a good book. Ella, I am so glad you brought these books for Miss Dorothy. This was a great lesson for all of your friends, and I'm so glad we got to share it with them. Now, tonight, I know what we need to pray about. We need to pray for our moms. Our moms work so hard, and we need to pray for our moms and ask God to help us help our moms and to give our moms a little peace. Are you ready to pray with Miss Dorothy about your mom? Okay, good. I need you to fold your hands and close your eyes. Ready? Dear God, thank you for our moms. Thank you for how hard they work, all that they do, how they love us and take care of us. Now please watch over our moms tonight. Let them get a good night's rest and help us to behave, to be extra, extra good, and sometimes to be just a little quiet so our moms can have some peace. Thank you so much for how you love us and the moms you've given us. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, little one, I need you to get off to bed. It's time for everybody to have some peace and quiet and everybody to get some rest. I need you to get under those covers, cuddle up, curl up, give your mom and dad lots of hugs and kisses, and get ready for a good night's sleep. And you be sure to come back and see Miss Dorothy. I'm going to be here, or I might be out there, or I might be over there. I might be anywhere. But wherever I am, I'm going to be there to read a book to you. So I hope you'll follow along and come with me, and I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and tell me what book you want me to read, because that's my favorite thing to do. I want you to do one more thing for me. Do you know what it is? Of course you do. Obey, and obey right away. And Miss Dorothy will see you really, really soon. Bye.